we're going to add a new document library, but first of all we need to be in the site contents section. We're going to start from here, and we are going to add an app, as Microsoft call it. The application that we are adding is document library. We're going to give it a short name. I'll show you why later on, but the name that we are going to give it is as in customers and suppliers. Create that, and that will show in your site settings as a new document library. You can see that. We're going to go and change the settings now that we've created it, and I'll show you why a short name is preferred, because it creates a URL, it creates a path effectively to access that library, and the shorter the better. Long names just sort of clutter up the overall path length. So we're going to go in there and give it a more appropriate name. You can see on the side here, it's given it that name sort of is very good for the URL, but doesn't really look so great on the side panel. So we're going to give it a bit more of an appropriate name for the side panel. That is by clicking on list name, description, and navigation. So we're going to call it customers and suppliers. And we're going to display this in the quick launch. This is the quick launch of the site here. So when you save that, you'll see what happens. It now shows you the customers and suppliers icon. However, you still have the shortened URL. We're going to go into that library and we'll create a couple of folders. Now we're going to go and show you how to actually create a custom view, so you can view your documents a little bit easier online. But folders, I'll create a couple of folders, and there's a reason why you would have folders and separate views. I'll elaborate a little bit more later. But if we create a folder, for example, customers, and we create a folder called suppliers. So this is going to be where all of our customers and suppliers exist. Now, the reason, so that looks really good when you browse on your PC. I haven't synchronized this particular library, but when you're browsing through your PC, you can see files and folders are quite easy and nice to click through. But when it comes to the web, and you're trying to move between folders, it's just a little bit more, actually it's quite quick at the minute, but it can be a little bit more clunky if you've got to move forward towards 3 folders deep and come back. You've got to rely on links within the site. So we'll show you how to create views to combat that particular issue. But we've created a new site, a new document library. We've created a couple of folders. Now you can sync that to your PC for offline access. Microsoft, and certainly we would recommend that you access it as much as you possibly can through the browser directly or through the web. I'm going to go to Classic SharePoint to change a couple of other settings. Some of the settings you still have to go back to Classic SharePoint for, and this is one of them. So you have your folders, which are easy to browse through File Explorer on your PC, but we're going to create a view, and there's a few steps to put in place before we create a view, so you can view your files and folders slightly easier online. We're going to create a view, but first of all we're going to create some categories, a column in which we can sort of apply to our view. So if you click on library, and we're going to create a column. It is going to be a choice menu. Does contain information that we're going to have to give the menu, so put some menu choices in here, and clearly there's 2 folders. We're going to stick to that theme of customers and suppliers. You have to remember what you put in these fields later on. I'll show you why when we get there. And we're not going to have a default choice for new documents to be uploaded. what we're going to do is we're going to automatically categorize the documents depending on which folder they're imported into. And save that. Oops, sorry, we need to provide a name. So the name is customer supplier choice. Okay, and you can see now that you have a column. So we can give categories to the documents or folders that we create within SharePoint, which helps towards applying views. It'll make a little bit more sense. So we're going to go into library settings, and one of these options is for column default value settings. So this is your top line site, your new SharePoint library, sorry. And below the library you have the two folders that we've created. So if we go into the customers folder, we can say, okay, any document uploaded into the customer folder, I would like to have a default value of customers. Now there's no pull down box here, unfortunately, which is why you have to remember exactly how you've named them. And you can see that now is applied. So anything, the green mark there, any file uploaded to the customers folder will be labeled as customers in the default value, as a default value, and it'll show in the column that we created before. So the same with suppliers. Any document uploaded to the suppliers folder, we're going to categorize as suppliers, except we're going to spell it right. Okay, so we go back to our site contents, we go into our customers and suppliers library that we've created. So we've created the column, we've created some rules for the column. We're going to upload two files into the customers folder, and that has automatically classified those two files as customers. We're going to go to the suppliers folder because of the rules we set in place, and we're going to upload two files. So any files that you upload into the respective folders will be classified in the way that we've just specified. So this is now classified as suppliers. Okay, now we're going to create a view, and effectively, if you view these files, if you view these folders on your laptop, if you synchronize them off for offline access, you'll see them exactly the way they are now, which is fine. Everyone likes files and folders, but again, to sort of cut down on the navigating through menus to find all of your files and folders, we'll create a view and show you how that's done. Okay, so if you click on library and create view, there's some sort of default views. So we're just going to start with all documents. We're going to start with a view that hasn't sort of been cut down or bespoke in any way. We'll wait for that to populate. We'll give the view a name, and that name is customers and suppliers. What we want to do is, we don't want the view, we're going to untick the customer supplier choice. You see why. I'm quite happy for that view to be made public. And what we're going to do is, we are going to group the view by customer and supplier choice. And we are going to show all items without folders, so we don't have to go inside of the folders to see those items. I'm going to OK that. And now you can see, so we're now looking at a view as opposed to a file and folder list, and you can see now if you expand this list, you can now see all of your documents from the same view, and you can see whether it is a customer or whether it is a supplier.